hope you're able to get it. If you're able to spread it to someone to let them know what it is that 25 with the understanding that, hi, everybody. Hi. Love you, love you, love you, love you. I think you all are amazing. I grew up just like a lot of other little black girls who grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and you were from single parent homes and you didn't have much and you were on food stamps and that kind of thing. I grew up, that was my life growing up, right? So I had to learn things as I moved along. God gave me a natural gift of music. And so being someone who has never taken a music, like a real music lesson in my life. I never went to a music school. Nobody ever taught me about notes. God just blessed me to automatically know them. And so even when I write music in full orchestration. I know what the chords are. I know what the keys are. I know all of it. And none of that is because I'm smart. It's because God decided that he wanted to bless me with it. So we had a concert in Chicago over the weekend. I'm in Chicago several times a year. It is literally one of the places. I believe if I wasn't born in New York, I would have been born in Chicago, because I feel like I am a natural born Chicagoan. And for a very long time, I considered not necessarily moving there, but getting a place there so that I could come there several times a year, just be there because I love the city so much. So we had our concert. It was an amazing concert. It was the ladies' R&B kickback. It was wonderful. Everybody that was on the show was amazing. All of these artists are artists that came out. Honestly, if I'm to be honest, when I think about the roster of artists that were on the show, I think every single artist that was on that show was an artist before I was one. Like I either worked with them doing background, or I wrote for them, or I was a vocal producer for them or something. And so that's crazy, right? That I would be doing a show with a bunch of women who had careers and names and who people knew before they knew me. I'm a church girl, but I'm a project girl too. I keep telling y'all, like, depending on what day y'all catch me is what you're gonna get. But like, I'm not like wild and I'm not crazy, and I would never even try to commit or admit to being to that, because that wasn't me. Like I was in the church growing up, for real. But I have two very different sides of my family. And I did notice some comments or whatever. I am a professional. And I feel horrible when I feel like I can't give my audience what it is that they deserve. I gave everything I had. And I did see a couple of, not a lot. And I really won't be addressing the negative sayers, like the naysayers, unless they get so out of pocket that they need to be checked all the way. But coming from this woman who, I'm probably older than you, the couple of you who spoke disrespectfully or borderline disrespectfully about the performance in Chicago, I got on stage after having a temperature of 102 degrees. I had a temperature of 102 degrees and a cold. And I got on the stage because as long as I can move and as long as I can walk, the show must go on. Chicago is always one of those places that I never, ever want to let down. I come there 2-3 times a year. That's at a minimum. And I feel like we still had an amazing show last night, like no matter what, because my heart is there in the city of Chicago. And it's always going to be there because Chicago will always be, it'll always be one of those places that means so much to me. I love every place that I go, but if I'm not mistaken, and I'm trying to remember correctly, I believe Chicago was the city that I went number one in before any other city in the country. And I was born and raised in New York. And so I have a love affair with the city of Chicago that I can't speak of any other city in the world. As much as I've traveled, as many cities as I've been to, I have a love for the city of Chicago. So I just wanted to address it. So if there's anybody that had any questions, and I'm not even talking to the people who might have tried to have slick, at this point, slick, whatever. I'm talking to the people that love me no matter what. I got on stage. I had a temperature of 102 degrees the night before I got on stage, and battling a cold. But I was not going to not take the stage. And I did what I always know to do. I did what my grandma and them taught me to do. I had Vicks on my feet and white socks, and my head was covered up. And I had Vicks on my chest, and I was drinking hot tea and all that kind of stuff to make sure that I would be able to sing and to be able to try to deliver to you the best that I could. I love you guys so much. I love all of my audience so much. I have been doing this for 3 decades now, and I understand the importance of always delivering to the audience what it is they came to see. And so for any of you who were disappointed, I'm not talking about haters. I'm not talking about people that get online to talk BS. This is the truth of the matter. I'm being very, very honest. Anyone who was disappointed, I am so sorry for that. You all didn't know that. That was not going to be my excuse. I prayed. My team prayed. My husband prayed. I was praying right before I walked on the stage. And I told God, if you give me what I need to get these songs out tonight, I'm going to sing and give everything that I have. And so I'm glad that you enjoyed yourselves last night. You all know that I'm there multiple times a year. I will always be there multiple times a year as long as you will have me. This trip, for multiple reasons, I can't even explain why, it was probably one of the most important trips I've ever taken to Chicago. I believe God will allow me the opportunity to tell the story why within the next few years. But this trip was so important. Being with you was so important. Hitting the stage was so important. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say what I have to say, but it is a big deal to go from standing in line and waiting 5 hours for a block of cheese to headlining a show at the Chicago Theater in Chicago, Illinois, in a lifetime. It's a big deal. And God had to make a decision that he not just loved me, but trusted me enough to do it. And so I never take it for granted. So really, this isn't even about like clapping back at the couple of people that don't really matter, that tried to have something to say. But this is more so about just letting everyone know in the city of Chicago how much you mean to me, how much I love you, how much you will always mean to me, and how I'll always come back to Chicago as long as you will have me. I'm going to take the next couple of days. I'm going to do like the old people told me. I'm going to tell you something. All this stuff they got in the stores and whatnot, nobody knew how to clear up a cold or the flu or the whatever better than your grandma. And my grandmother was both a singer and a musician, and she knew how to pull it together, and she taught us how to pull it together. So I'm going to get myself together because I got a lot of dates coming up. The weather's been crazy all over the country. We've been watching it happen. We've been watching snow happen in places where it's never happened before. Unpredictable fires, all kinds of craziness. And no matter what, it's always important to me that I can get to you when I know that I'm supposed to get to you. And so I just wanted to say this is, and I'm sorry for those of you who feel you deserve an apology. If you feel you deserve an apology, you absolutely deserve an apology. But for those of you who just may not have known and it didn't matter either way or whatever the case may be, I just wanted to let you know what was going on. I'm pretty sure you can hear it in the way that I'm speaking. I'm trying to preserve my voice. I'm going to be resting for the next couple of days. I'm going to be using some of my grandma's old hacks with the Vicks and the lemon and all the other stuff that I need, and the sweating out this whatever, so that I can be all right. It's the wintertime. Colds happen in the wintertime. The flu happens in the wintertime. Upper respiratory infections happen in the wintertime. But as a singer, this is my job. So I still have to be able to do it. If I did not show up every time something happened with my throat or my voice or whatever, that would be a lot of the time. And so I have to learn how to take care of, I learned at a very young age how to take care of my voice and how to get through what I needed to get through. But I just wanted to say that I love you. I will always love you. I will always come back to you. I pray that you enjoyed the show last night because I gave you everything that I had. I had chills in my body, but it wasn't just from the way I felt. When I got out there and I felt your energy, especially when we were singing It Will Rain, I tried so hard not to cry because it was like I could just feel God touching me and telling me, you're going to be all right. And he's been doing that my whole life. He's literally been doing that my whole life. And so I'm grateful. I think that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I love y'all. I saw somebody say gargle with some salt water. I'm going to do that too. I'm going to gargle with some salt water. I'm going to drink my lemon, honey, and I think it's the cinnamon, what is it? The cinnamon whiskey and honey and lemon, and as hot as I can stand it, and drink it and just let it do what it's got to do. But I was born to do this. I didn't give myself this voice. I'm not that smart. I'm not that intelligent. And God knows I do not have that kind of power. God gave me the voice that he gave me. It is my responsibility to take care of it. Even when the weather is doing things that I don't expect it to do, it's my responsibility to take care of it. And so I just want to say thank you guys. I love you guys. The time was running late last night and it was almost time for the building to close. Thank you so much to the owner of the building who said, let her at least get a part of her last song done because she always comes here and she deserves the opportunity to at least get to the end of her show. So thank you so much. I don't know your name. I will make sure I find out your name from my team so that I can thank you personally. But Chicago, you are the best. I love you. I appreciate you. I keep saying new music is coming. It is coming. That's the other thing that I wanted to say. But the one thing I did want to say to someone who made the comment, you need to put out some new music because the old music is getting tired. I'm going to show you this real quick in case you didn't remember. Black don't really crack like that. Not good black. On April 4th of this year, I will be 52 years old. 52. I've been putting out music since the early 90s. I write all the time. I write new songs at least 3-4 times a week. But when I go out and I do a concert and I have other artists on the stage with me, and I'm told you have 25 minutes, I have to adhere to that 25 minutes. I have to do what I'm told that I'm supposed to do when somebody brings me in. And so if most of my audience, I would say 99% of my audience, if they had to choose between hearing something that they never heard me sing before and something that they know that they love, that takes them back to a place that they remember, that was a good place for them, sometimes even a not so good place, but it reminds them of why it made them move into a good place, that's what they want to hear. So I was a little whatever. I'm not going to even say I was a little more than a little shady because I can be that when I need to. But if you ever need young lady an opportunity for someone to teach you how this music business works, especially when you've been doing it longer than 30 years like I have. Most people don't make more than 30 years on one job. I'm more than happy to explain to you that when a person has an audience who loves their music, if they only have 20 minutes or 25 minutes or 30 minutes to sing, and I have a catalog of music that runs for more than 30 years, if they have to choose between singing along with something that they know, love, and remember, and hearing something new that they don't know anything about, they want to sing along. I don't blame it on you. I don't charge it to you like that, because unless you're in this business like that and you've had experience